And with that, I think we are ready to get started. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for being here with us to talk about this new product, Unity Industry. My name is Derek Burrows. I'll be your MC for today's webinar. And we are just so excited to be able to share this product with you. We've been working on it for a long time, and we hope that you will be as excited about everything that we've packed into this as we are. So without further ado, let's begin. Today, we're going to be talking about a few key topics related to Unity Industry. First, we're going to talk really quickly about what is this product, why did we create it? Then we're going to talk about what's included in the box. We're going to talk about the version of the Unity editor that's included in Unity Industry, which is, of course, Unity Enterprise. We're going to talk about how you prepare data for Unity Industry using the Pixyz plugin. And then we're going to talk about maybe the most exciting new parts of Unity Industry, and that's this industry success plan that we've created specifically for industrial customers as a part of this product. The last bit of this presentation, we're going to do a Q&A with our industry success team who we have on this call today, talk a little bit about the types of engagements that you'll be going into when you work with this team, what you can expect, and getting to know the team that you will be working with as you embark on your Unity industry journey, so to speak. Our speakers today, we have 5 of them. It is a packed house. I am Derek Burrows. I am the product marketing manager for Unity Industry, as well as our other industry products. On the line with me today, we have Axel Jaquette, who comes from the Pixyz team and is a product manager for our Pixyz product portfolio. And then from our customer success team, we have 3 all-star members. We have Rebecca from our partner advisor team, Thomas from our partner relations manager team, and then Danny from our software engineering team on our support engineering side. So we've got 2 dedicated advisors and a technical support expert here to answer all of your questions about industry success. Let's lead off with the why. This is a new product. There's always a guiding ethos behind why we build what we build. And Unity Industry had a really simple one. We wanted to pull together the best of everything that we've built. It's been a few years now that Unity has been working and growing and learning in the industry space, the non-gaming, non-entertainment verticals, which include architecture, engineering, construction, which include automotive and transportation, aerospace, government, manufacturing, industrial machinery, and just everything else under the sun. And we've had a lot of time to learn what's working for our customers and what isn't. And we had a few guiding principles when we made this new product. The first was we really wanted to focus on success. We know that Unity as a tool is newer to the industrial audience than it is, say, to the games audience. And our industrial customers tend to have higher needs for support and services from Unity to help them get started, to help them learn about the different features they might not know they have access to, and to make sure they overcome roadblocks as quickly as possible. Our second guiding principle was simplifying our offering. If you've ever scrolled through unity.com's product section, you know how overwhelming it can be to find the product that makes sense for you and your team. We wanted Unity Industry to be that one starting point for every industrial customer to access the editor, pull in their models, and get started creating. Finally, Unity Industry represents a chance for us to reinvest in industry. We wanted to create a product that allows us to collect feedback from you, knowing that you're an industrial customer, and build into that product the features that matter most to you, our industrial customers. We feel like this is an opportunity for us to build a better set of features for your industry-specific development needs. Now, with those guiding principles in mind, we built the Unity Industry Bundle. A tool that really wants to help you unlock the CAD and 3D data your organization might already have access to, and then get the support you need in order to achieve your vision and build experiences that help you drive business goals. We do that with 3 key products. The first one is Unity Enterprise, our premium version of the Unity editor. The second one is the Pixyz Plugin, our tool that allows you to pull in your existing models for whatever you want to use them for. And then finally, we have industry success, which we're going to talk about a lot in this call. Let's begin by talking about Unity Enterprise. Now, Unity Enterprise is a tool. If you are familiar with Unity's product line, you might already know a little bit about this one. But just so you know, there are multiple versions of the Unity editor. There's the personal version, there's Unity Pro, and then Unity Enterprise is the tool that is designed for teams looking to scale. It is the premium version of the core Unity editor family. There's a few key components that I wanted to talk to in Unity Enterprise. It can do a lot of things, but these are 4 that I wanted to talk about in this webinar. The first one is, of course, the Unity editor. The second is 3-year long-term support. The third is access to read-only source code. And the 4th is build server. 4 features that I think do a pretty good job of encompassing everything Unity Enterprise can do. And the core of Unity Enterprise is, of course, the Unity editor. Now, the Unity editor is a tool that customers in industry are using to create such a wide array of experiences, from sales and marketing configurators that live inside of a browser and help people sell vehicles or watches, all the way to building simulations for self-driving cars or modeling entire factory floors and connecting that to live data so people can understand how their assets are performing. The Unity editor is only really constrained by your imagination. If you have something that you'd like to do in a 3D space, you can do it with the Unity editor. It is a set of professional tools that allow you to develop for mobile, for AR, for VR platforms, as well as desktop platforms, and build experiences that meet your customers where they are. The Unity editor includes access to closed platforms like with MetaQuest and other tools. It includes advanced physics that allow you to build things like simulations that mimic the real world. It includes AR tools that allow you to build into augmented reality, VR, metaverse-ready type experiences. And then, of course, it has the materials, the shading, the lighting that you need in order to make your experiences as realistic as possible. Using Unity, you can prototype, you can design, you can launch experiences for any business goals that you might have. A couple of different things that I think are also really worth calling out here, and maybe underutilized in the industry space. Number one, I wanted to call out jump-starting projects with ready-made assets. The Unity editor has access to the asset store, and the asset store has Unity assets that can be used with any version of Unity, including Unity Industry. Now, you can use those assets to get a big leg up in building your experiences. And those assets don't just include, like trees to put by the side of the road or fences and houses to populate your virtual worlds. They include things like UI designs. If you want to make a dashboard for a vehicle, you can pre-populate that using some of those UI elements that have been built by the talented members of the community. The nice thing about working in the same ecosystem as games developers is that game developers have been trying to mimic the real world for a long time. And so industry developers can take advantage of that creativity and pull in some of those assets into their experiences from the asset store. The second thing that I think is worth calling out is the massive community the Unity editor has built. Unity is a leader in real-time 3D, and there is so much talent both in the forums waiting to help you with your challenges and waiting to be hired, looking for new careers that might expand their horizons. Unity has a massive ecosystem of developers out there. So if you are looking to get more ambitious with your real-time 3D experiences, Unity is a great ecosystem to start in. Now, let's move past the Unity editor itself and talk about some of those enterprise-specific benefits that go beyond what Pro is offering today. The first of those benefits is 3-year long-term supports, 3-year LTS. What this means is when you have a project that you've just built using your Unity editor and you want to deploy it and you want to move on to the next thing, what you don't want to have happen is, Unity encounters a bug, but the version is too old, it's not supported anymore, and then you have to go and rebuild every 2 years. Unity Enterprise includes 3-year LTS. It means that for an additional year, Unity will support regular bug fixes and platform updates to keep your experiences running longer without needing to upgrade, without needing to adapt to the newest version of Unity. That is an extra year of being able to count on the experiences you've already deployed, which can be a huge value add if you are trying to focus on the next thing that your business is looking for. So 3-year LTS, that is one of the key Unity Enterprise features. It allows you to have trust and confidence in the version that you are developing on. It allows you to understand the changes that are being made with change logs for each new version that's coming. And of course, there are tools available to help you upgrade and migrate when you are ready. Feature 2 that we want to call out of Unity Enterprise is access to read-only source code. Now, this is a tool that your most talented Unity developers are going to love because Unity can at times seem like a black box, but we do have access to all of the different subroutines and the backgrounds that make Unity tick. If you want to understand exactly how your code is operating, if you want to understand how Unity is taking the code that you assigned and then processing that through its, black box, source code access is for you. It will allow you to understand your code more deeply. It will allow you to debug your code yourself if you can't wait for a Unity bug fix. It will allow you to write better optimized code because you understand how Unity is parceling out that data. And it allows you to work more closely with the editor and build that familiarity with the inner workings. So source code access, this is a advanced developer feature, but one that we found industrial customers really love for when they need to get that next level of depth in their experiences. The final feature I want to call out for Unity Enterprise that is not present in Unity Pro or our other versions is Build Server. Now, Build Server is a wonderful tool for quality assurance, really, and testing. Now, when you are building a robust experience, you want to have lots and lots of different builds that you can test and make sure that you understand how they're working, so that you can do that QA while you are doing your development. But building different builds of your project is a time and computation intensive task. If you have a handful of computers that are being used by your Unity developers, you don't want 2 of them to be wrapped up constantly rebuilding for testing for QA. What Build Server licenses allow you to do is offload that work to dedicated computers that allow you to do nothing but build and iterate and build and iterate so that your QA teams have access to those builds whenever you need to. And it's not just the QA teams, your development teams want access to those builds as well. The Build Server licenses are really part of building a robust development team that is ready to scale up to meet the needs of your production schedule or whatever else. So Build Server is really a wonderful tool for teams to scale, for QA to get done, and for better testing on your projects. Now, that brings me to the end of our spiel on Unity Enterprise. I am now going to hand it off to Axel from our PM team on Pixyz to tell us a little bit more about Pixyz Plugin. So Axel, I'll let you take it from here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Axel. I'm a product manager at Unity. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the amazing Pixyz plugin and explain what this product unlocks for you when combined with Unity Editor, and how this bundle helps you save some time so you can focus on the real deal, which is creating and delivering stunning real-time virtual experiences for your company or for your customers. The Pixyz plugin will make your life easier when it comes to processing the 3D objects that make up your Unity scene, and this on 3 main aspects. First, when it comes to importing any 3D file into your Unity project. Second, when it comes to optimizing your 3D objects to get amazing performances compatible with real-time 3D. And third, when it comes to staging your 3D objects to give them life, and this in an automated way. So just to say it simply, Pixyz plugin is a no-brainer tool to easily manage your 3D data directly in Unity Editor. And for that, it leverages Pixyz's powerful technology under the hood. So first and foremost, Pixyz plugin will allow you to bridge the gap between the engineering and construction world on one side and the real-time 3D world, simply by allowing to import directly in Unity into all main 3D formats from most 3D software solutions across multiple markets. And this without the need of an outside intermediary solution. So in the product design software market, it supports native files from CATIA, SolidWorks, Creo, NX, VRED, Inventor, you name it. And it supports as well formats broadly used for interoperability, like STEP, JT, and IGES, just to name a few. From the AEC software market, it supports Revit, Navisworks, AutoCAD, IFC, SketchUp, and soon the MicroStation files as well. And of course, it supports all classic standard formats used across DCC software like FBX, USD, OBJ, Collada, and also GRTF, which is more and more used for data exchange, especially in web context. Finally, Pixyz Plugin can also import point clouds. Point clouds are obtained from scanning real-life objects or environments, and they're broadly used in the industry, for example, for as-built, as-designed use cases. So Pixyz Plugin can import E57 and PTX files, and very soon the broadly used PLY format. Now, one key aspect is that the import is smart, as it preserves the integrity of critical information throughout the process, like maintaining the model's hierarchy, maintaining the metadata, maintaining the materials and colors assignments, maintaining UVs and other mesh attributes. And this information can then be leveraged within Unity to stage your 3D model and bring it to life. So let's see this in action. In Unity, once you've installed the Pixyz plugin, you get a Pixyz menu here. And to start importing, simply choose import model and select the file you wish to import. Again, you can see Pixyz plugin supports a wide range of formats at import. Let's start with a SolidWorks factory line model. So here in the import window, there are a bunch of settings. You can keep the default ones and you'll get great results out of the box. You can also adjust things to adapt the import process to your needs as you prefer. There are 2 tips to help you understand the different settings. And now we're going to have a look at the most important ones. So first, you can import metadata. I mentioned them earlier. Metadata or non-geometric data like couples of property value that can be carried by any node of the hierarchy. So usually they are added by engineering for multiple possible reasons like design information, manufacturing information, etc. You can import lines as well, like 2D drawings containing DXF or the DWG file. You can import points, which can be used, for example, within CAD files as references for a specific position, like a contact area between 2 objects. From the transform section, you can adapt the coordinate system from your file to Unity's own system. So you end up with a correctly scaled model, meaning with the correct units. And of course, a correctly oriented model, meaning not tilted on the side by 90 degrees, for example. You can also manage the hierarchy from your original model at import and how it's going to be treated at import. So if you want to keep it as is, you can, if that's what you prefer. Or if you, for example, want to merge 3D objects by their material or their color, you can do it as well. So many options for you, depending on your import strategy. And the goal in the end being to gain performance and to avoid having too many objects and too deep hierarchy with many leaves. In the geometry sections, you'll find more advanced settings regarding the geometries contained in the model you're importing. And the most important setting is mesh quality, of course. Again, it's meant to be a no-brainer. So you simply select the quality you want for your model's geometry according to your needs for your projects. So for an XR experience, you might want to choose poor or medium quality. But if you're looking for a high fidelity meshes, because your goal is to create a digital twin of your products for a marketing configurator, you might want to use maximum quality. Also, you can define your own settings if necessary. Now, back to the setting above, create LODs. That's an important concept in game engine like Unity. You can automatically create LODs on the fly at import, meaning different levels of mesh quality for your imported model. And the engine will smartly use which level to use when running your app in order to ensure the best performance possible without sacrificing the visual quality. So let's create a high quality LOD 0, medium quality LOD 1, and poor quality LOD 2. Finally, the rendering session, that's where you can start staging your model directly at the import step. For example, you can create UVs, also called texture coordinates, and this will allow you to use advanced materials using textures, and so you can get a realistic look and feel for your imported model. So now we are ready to import. Let's hit import and let Pixyz plugin do its magic. Now, what's happening during the import process? The targeted file is read and a data proportion recipe is triggered. and it leverages all kinds of smart algorithms from Pixyz core technology. For example, if you import a CAD model, it contains CAD surfaces that are automatically assembled and repaired, and then the surfaces are tessellated, meaning they are transformed into optimized meshes with a perfect balance between visual quality and polygon count, which is, the promise of great performance for real-time rendering. If you import a 3D model that is already made of meshes, like models from an FBX file, for example, well, these meshes are repaired, so there is no crack or holes. And beyond the 3D shapes themselves, other less visible smart processes are triggered during the import process. For example, Pixyz Plugin automatically detects 3D objects that are identical and creates instances for them, which again allows better performance down the road. And also identical materials or textures are meshed together, etc., etc. So the import is almost done. So as you can see, the import was pretty fast, which is another key aspect of Pixyz Plugin beyond guaranteeing quality and digital continuity. And we have our model here in our scene, ready to be staged further. So I mentioned earlier that all critical information is preserved. So we have the complete hierarchy. We have the metadata placed in a dedicated script, which can now be leveraged in Unity Editor to create dedicated behaviors and scripts. And we have our meshes, of course, with LODs. So from a distance, they look fine. Now, if we zoom in, we can see how the LODs we created are used when we need finer meshes. So beyond unlocking the import of 3D files, the plugin also comes with features to stage and optimize 3D models. So first, we have a toolbox. The toolbox is a feature that allows after import modifications, which can be useful for simple on-the-go tweaks. And the interesting thing is that the toolbox isn't restricted to Pixyz imported models only. You can work on 3D models already living in your scene. So let's see that. The tools from the toolbox are accessible by a simple right click. So they're meant for 3D models optimization and preparation. So in the mesh section, there you can repair meshes, including bad faces orientation or remove the fighting, for example. And you can also reduce the number of polygons by using several strategies like mesh decimation or remove hidden polygons, etc. In the hierarchy section, that's where you can find tools to optimize the hierarchy, like merge objects with different strategies. Well, everything to lower the number of entities in your scene and optimize models. Finally, you have tools to fine-tune and prepare your models like pivot points management or UV creation. The last feature I want to talk about is the rule engine. The rule engine is a feature meant to help you save time in your 3D data preparation process by simplifying the staging of your 3D models that populate your Unity scene and how you bring life to them to be dynamic and have a realistic look and feel. So let's see this with an action, with an example, sorry. So here I have an architecture model with this Revit file of a house. For example, I have this table which has been imported, split in different parts, but I need, for my use case, to merge them together into a single object. So I can select different parts and open the toolbox and choose to merge them together. Very straightforward example. Let's see, maybe another one. I have an object in my scene with a huge poly count, but I do not need that much detail for it because it might be seen from afar and it might slow down my scene in the end. So I'll do a polygon reduction using the decimation tool from my toolbox. So here in just a click, I get an optimized model. Now, let's have a look at the rule engine by creating our first rule. One rule could be to merge together all tables from my scene, but at once, just like I did before with one table, by hand. So to that, I create a filter to find objects based on metadata property that contains the keyword table. And with my selection, I'll simply merge the children's objects together. The beautiful thing about the rule engine is that you can couple it with the import feature. So your staging process happens automatically at import. And it also means that you can update your 3D file when it has changed by re-importing and reapplying automatically the same rule again. So here I have a more advanced set of rules, which I use in my house model. And I obtain the same set as before, but automatically prepared and ready to use. And now you can see it has an actual lights from Unity placed in the correct places. You have the fake trees that have been replaced by beautiful ones from Unity Speed Tree. Also the materials with textures have replaced simple colors, etc., etc. And you can see the difference between the same asset imported with and without the rule engine. And you understand that combining the rule engine and the toolbox, well, you can achieve amazing things. One more thing, also colliders have been automatically created and imported with the rule engine, which allows you to leverage the physics engine integrated in Unity editor. So you could simply plug a VR headset and start walking around inside the house using the stairs and everything. Or you can do fencing like this. So there are so many great things. I do not have time to show in depth today, but you'll be thrilled to discover later by yourself. So in a nutshell, Pixyz Plugin comes with an integrated LOD tool, which allows to automatically generate LODs on the fly, but for 3D assets that are already existing in your projects. Then the plugin gives the possibility to leverage game engine techniques like billboard generation, imposter generation, automatic retopology, kind of things. And finally, Pixyz Plugin comes with the C# API to go even further for very advanced users, like generating custom rules for the rule engine or create HLODs. So now you understand that with the Pixyz plugin, well, you will be able to reuse your existing 3D data to create amazing virtual experiences and for any industrial use case you can imagine, without the need to convert or recreate them using other DCC tools. Pixyz plugin used in combination with the incredible development capabilities of the Unity editor, well, you get an amazing product bundle, and that's the new Unity industry. And it also comes with an outstanding support plan, which we will be talking about right now.
Merci, Axel. So after hearing about Unity Enterprise and Pixyz plugin, let's talk about industry success. To do that, we've got a team of three. We've got Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Moranja from the Industry Partner Advisor team. I've been at Unity since April 2022. But before my life at Unity, I used to be an architect. So later on, we're going to be talking about how some members of our teams can very much relate to our industry customers.
And we've also got Dan.
Hi there, my name is Danny. I lead one of the teams of software engineering, the product support team. I was a technical artist and a 3D designer, and I've been at Unity from August 2021.
Amazing. And I'm Thomas. I lead the partner relations team in EMEA, and I've been at Unity for a little over a year, and I have specialization in the relationships between the tech world and OEMs and media and telco. So I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and it's been a pleasure throughout. And so let's talk a little bit about what that relationship, that customer success relationship will look like with Unity. So there are 4 key elements that we're going to be talking about today. And the first is your bridge. It's your point of contact. It's one of the reasons why, you will be able to get the best out of these licenses. It's the individual that you can reach out to. And Rebecca and I are going to talk a bit about that in a minute. There's also product activation, which is about making sure that for the first month, we're not just waiting around, waiting for you to figure out how to use your licenses. We are here to help you get the licenses activated on your organization based on the setup, based on the users, and making sure that everything that you've purchased is at your fingertips, ready to go. The third is probably the foundational element of any support relationship, and that is the reactive. That is the questions that you have. That is the issues that you're facing. And it's all about getting the right experts and engineers in front of you to fix the issues that you're dealing with. And the fourth, for me, the most important, the one I spend the most of my time is, it's the education side, the upskilling piece, and all of that is managed by our on-demand training portal, which every single one of your users will have access to. We'll talk about all of that throughout this presentation. Those four key pieces combine into a single industry success offering that helps you ship on time, or at least ship to the optimal version of the product that you're hoping to ship, gets you to get an understanding of Unity via individuals who work at Unity, because no one knows Unity like we do. It's all about getting you access to the engineers that you need access to. It's about providing you fast responses to the issues that you have. And all of that is organized and orchestrated by your trusted partner, your customer success manager, be it a partner advisor or a partner relations manager. They are there to understand you, to understand your needs, and to get you the answers that you need throughout the duration of our relationship, be it a year, 2, 3, 5, and beyond. So there are slight differences between the type of relationship that you're going to be having with Unity based on 1 to 9 and 10 and more seats. And we're going to start with the 1 to 9 group. So Rebecca, over to you.
Amazing. Thank you, Tom. So with our 1 to 9 seat customers, you will have access to our industry partner advisor team. So we are a global team. We're across 8 different countries across the world. And practically who we are is we are your bridge between what your queries are. We help to kind of triage. We help to triage any of your concerns, your pain points, your questions, your queries, and we then help connect you to our internal teams, whether that's QA, our sales operations, or our marketing team. We are industry specialists, as I said at top. So I come from an architecture background, but we've also got partner advisors who come from engineering, automotive, and a variety of other industrial backgrounds. They have a professional experience, and therefore it helps us to better relate to what you're trying to achieve and the projects that you're working on. And the thing that we very much pride ourselves on being is a trusted advisor. We are here to help identify where there are key points of opportunities for your own projects, for your goals, for your milestones, and we will help you adopt features that will help you to build better and be successful. We'll never ever try and push anything onto you. The sales part is already done. We're here for your success, and that's our focus. How can an industry partner advisor help you? Well, like I said before, we pride ourselves on being here for you. See us as kind of like an extra team attached to your own development team. We are a team of advocates. So within Unity, we help to kind of pass on any feedback, any pain point that you're having. We actually pass that on to our dev teams, and we kind of let them know what the situation is, and hopefully that can then be put into feature requests in the future. On top of that, we help you with a 3-month onboarding period, and that also includes assisting on your product activation. So to make sure that you're getting started on the right track, we will help you with any onboarding that you might need, any upskilling. We'll help provide resources and support for that. It doesn't matter which skill level you're starting on, we're here to help you. And with your product activation, we'll be working with our support engineering team, which is Danny is a member of, and he'll go into a little bit more detail about that later. On top of that, throughout the lifespan of your product, we'll also do quarterly business reviews where we just check in, see how you're doing, see how your goals are going, and see if you're hitting those milestones. And if you're not, then we're here to help, providing any assistance that we can with resources and providing feedback back to our teams. And lastly, all those resources and workarounds, they're all relevant to you. We listen to you, we hear what you're doing, what you're producing, and we find the right solution. We're never going to copy that, whenever we know that not one box fits all. So we're here to listen to you on an individual basis and come up with the relevant resources that will help you. And where our limit kind of ends is we do not handle technical tickets. So like I said, we are the bridge between. We are here to help understand what's going on, and then we will pass you on to the right team. So talking about how we help pass you on and how we kind of fit within that Unity network, we always aim to have our first response to you, any kind of inquiry or your ticket. We always look to do that within less than 48 hours. So why 48 hours specifically? Like I said before, we might be contacting multiple teams on your behalf. We'll be looking into your queries on an individual basis. But what we do is our partner advisor team will get in touch with you as soon as your product has been bought. So we will get in touch with you to kind of understand what you need and to start to draw up those first steps. So you're never going to be left in the lurch after buying the industry product. So if you do kind of have a really successful start and you're feeling, actually, we can increase our team, we're building our skill set, let's get up to that 10 plus seats, you will then be upgraded to our partner relations manager team. And Thomas is going to go through everything about it.
That's right. Let's say you're 10, 15, 20, 30, 80, and you need that extra level of support, right? And so that's why instead of having a team of dedicated advisors, who are absolutely spectacular, by the way, but instead of having a team, you get a dedicated partner relations manager who gets a full understanding of what it is that you're working on, what it is that you're trying to achieve, what it is that you're trying to do. And then throughout the duration of our relationship, we are that individual that you can contact at any time with any questions that you have, right? We are your go-to point of contact. I say this to every single partner I work with. There is a limit to how much I know. In my case, there's a serious limit to how much I know, but there is an infinite amount of people that I can reach out to get the answers that we need. I'm also your advocate. Your partner relations manager is your representative within Unity. We are here to make sure that your voices, your needs, your objectives are heard by our engineering team. Everything that we work on at Unity is all about making it users first, developers first. And a partner relations manager is one of those avenues that gets that information over to the people who are working on our products. And as a strategic partner, we are here to share with you any information from Unity to make sure that your project is as successful as possible. That could be roadmaps, that could be helping you plan with any guidance on any technology. We are here to learn and focus on what it is that you need so that we can then help you best, right? A lot of my conversations with my customers, especially at the start, is all about getting an understanding of what you need so that I can then come in for the second, third, fourth, fifth interaction with much more information that's relevant to you all. It also changes our response times and our engagement on the tickets. So your partner relations manager is responsible for the escalation of your tickets, is accountable at the end of the day for the support that you receive, and we will guarantee 4, 8, and 12-hour response times based on severity. The building's on fire, that's a high. You have a how-to question, I'm not too sure, I just need to speak to an engineer, that's probably a 12. A low and 12-hour response time. Obviously all throughout support hours, but we are there, we keep visibility, and throughout the kind of exchanges that we're going to have throughout the duration of the contract, because obviously everything that was mentioned by Rebecca is also included here. So, throughout these conversations, these quarterly conversations, we will also make sure to analyze the tickets that you're raising and how we can best hopefully be a bit more proactive about that instead of avoiding and waiting until the house is on fire. And so, who best to talk to us about the reactive than someone who actually handles the reactive, be it engine or product support. So Danny, I hand over to you and tell us all about what it is that you and your team do wonderfully well.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Thomas. So the support engineering team is a team that actually fix the issues, the technical issues. We are a team of over 200 specialized engineers. We are spread out in many time zones to ensure our 24-hour coverage. We are divided, in smaller teams with a narrow and deep focus on all the areas of the Unity offering. We have the core team, features, graphics, platforms. I personally lead the products team that it provides assistance with products that are not exactly not related to the Unity engine, and so Pixyz or other products in the DT world. Our main focus, of course, is like providing reactive support via ticketing system. But as Rebecca said, we're also committed to bring the customer voice, your voice, to the product and engineering teams, because we believe this is a very important mandate we have, to make sure that we close the very important feedback loop and participate and influence the product roadmaps. We pride of our presence in the core meetings, and we do this on a regular basis. we aim to be the absolute Unity experts. And to do that, we are aware that we need to practice, we need to learn, and to to not to lose contact with the actual working with Unity. And this is why all of the teams in support engineering allocate a specific time. We're talking about 20% of our week time to self-development. We do this again regularly. We do in team, as a team effort. We do individually. Every team's got their preferences, but this is an absolute must that we make sure we never forget about. Besides, we also constantly assess the need for extending the current skills, the current skill set we have, and understand if there are type of issues, different type of issues, new type of issues that we need to fix. And this is what I've done recently with my team, the product support team. I have added IT and networking skills to deliver a service that we called the product activation service. Thomas, can you thank you. So the product activation is an effort to extend the skill set. Again, as I said, we heard your voice, and frankly, we are aware that running Unity within enterprise settings is not straightforward, because of all of the networking and security constraints that you have. In the industry sector, normally you can find. To address this issue, we designed this service, which is slightly different from what we normally do reactively. We want to be very proactive, and we will reach out to you as soon as the first automatic email goes out and say welcome. We also reach out to you and we ask you to provide us with an IT or networking admin contact that we will collaborate with in order to ensure that the users will open Unity seamlessly, in a couple of days. Again, we know it's not straightforward, so we want to make sure that we learn about your network and your security constraints, and we come up with a plan, bespoke, because networks are never the same. Bespoke plans for you to run the core elements. We're talking about opening the hub, opening Unity, download the packages. We will do that via, so we built a full section in our new guide called Deploy Unity Across Enterprise, that has tons of instructions how to, depending on the network configuration that we find. We will deliver the product activation via professional training series. Perhaps we just finished creating a series on how to deploy the Unity licensing server, which is another not straightforward product. And if that's not enough, we're going to have one-to-one sessions with your IT admins. At the end, within a couple of days, we want to see that all of your core elements, we test the core elements on your machines, on your client machines, and hopefully we'll check you out, and you will go back to a more traditional onboarding with Rebecca and Thomas, where you describe your ideas, your projects, and if you have technical issues, you will come after to us again and open a ticket via the ticketing system I was outlining before. This is pretty much all I had for you today. But feel free to ask questions in the Q&A session. I'll pass the slide now, the deck, to Rebecca again.
Hey, Danny. So we've gone through this presentation. We've mentioned things like source code and build servers. And if you are an industry customer and you're kind of on this call and you're like, I have no idea what Unity is and how to start it. I just had this really cool idea, this really great project, and where do I start? We also have, as part of the industry SKU product, we also have on-demand training. And that training has been curated for our industry users. So there are a whole entire library of content for you there to help you kind of get up to speed, to get your Unity learning on. And this is on top of Unity's free learning resources, but this is specific for industry use cases. So it's across different verticals and different skill levels, from beginner to expert. And it also includes certification. So if you have people who are learners, new learners in your team, or you're upskilling, this is actually like a really great way to get them their certifications, to get that training up. And then, yeah, they're awesome expert Unity developers. With Unity, we do see a really big emphasis on opening up learning and not gatekeeping learning. So it's something that we do internally to keep our skills up, as Danny mentioned. And so we also open that up to our customers as well. And so the on-demand training platform is an excellent way to do that. All of it can be done on your own time around your work. So it can be kind of done either really intensely, or if you want to just do a session a day, it's all up to you.
All right, thank you very much for that. That was awesome. This whole presentation has been, thank you, Derek, for orchestrating all of this. It's been a real pleasure to be a part of this, and I hope you've gotten a lot out of the industry success, at least explanation, and hopefully you have a bit of a better understanding of what it is that we do. But if you don't, or if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. Feel free.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Danny. An incredible overview of everything that industry success can offer. And before we call it quits here today, I did want to take a little bit of time and build a little bit of, more open communication with the three of you about how our users can expect to interact with you. So there's a couple different cases that I'd love to talk through here. Obviously, when we're thinking about interacting with customer success, and we're talking about getting access to help from, calling up Thomas, calling up Rebecca, I'd love to know a little bit about what is exciting to you about those conversations. And I'd like to do a bit of an exercise where maybe, Rebecca, you can help me walk through the shoes of talking to a new customer. So when you're on the phone with someone who's relatively new to Unity, like the person who's most going to care about ODT, as you just mentioned, what is it that, what kinds of conversations do you expect to have? What do you listen for when you're working with that new customer? And can you share a little bit of your experience working with new customers and how you get them onboarded?
Yeah, definitely. So when we kind of have our kind of like our alert go off that a product has been bought, and it will be an industry product, we get a message to reach out to you. So we just do a blanket reach out. It doesn't matter if you're an expert or you are a complete beginner, just to check on you and to kind of gauge where is your skill set. And there is no incorrect answer. We want it to be an open and honest conversation. Whether you are kind of already a Unity pro, or if you are a complete beginner, we can help you. So we love getting completely new people to Unity because it just means that we get to help you more. And what we do is we share Unity's amazing bank of resources and learning courses to help get you started from the ground up. Luckily, Unity is a collaborative community, and something that is very rare, especially in tech with different software that you might have learned as part of your work, is there's not really that much gatekeeping. So if you are stuck, if there are answers, it's either the forums or it's something that we might already have on learning path. So we love kind of being able to kind of empower our customers and be like, look, we know what your project is. We know what your end goal is. Let's get you there. Let's get you there step by step. So yeah, we love being able to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Rebecca. Now I want to, Thomas, if you're okay helping me with the next one, I want to talk about a very different customer, someone who is an old Unity veteran, who knows their way in and around the product. How do you offer value to a customer like that? How do you make sure that this is still a useful engagement for someone who's very skilled in our products?
Right. Yeah. No, that's an awesome question. Well, I think the more advanced you are with Unity, the deeper we can go, and I think that's one of those where one of the reasons we separate our engineering teams by speciality is because you cannot be an expert in everything. And so if you are an expert in something, well, that means that there are going to be areas where you can probably dive a little bit deeper. And my responsibility, especially as a PRM, is to get an understanding of where you're at. What is it that you're not particularly interested in? Be that because that's not what's a focus to you, or because you already have spent enough time in your career to build that expertise. For example, I have a customer who is a lighting expert, for example. And in fact, the relationship that we now have with Unity is he has conversations with our lighting experts to share his thoughts on how our product could evolve to best benefit him as well, right? So there's an element of it. If you are an expert in a certain technology, we can either kind of move past it and go deeper in something else, or we can actually dive in even deeper than that and speak to the people who are experts on our side and see what it is that we're missing. Because we are developers first at Unity, right? That is the focus, always has been. It's about enabling as many creators as possible and making sure that our tool fits your need. That's what I get pride in at the end of the day. If I know that there's a feature that's been implemented or anything that we've been working on that has been a collaboration or that has come from a complaint or a need from one of my partners, then I'm thrilled. But then in terms of the kind of the education piece, we can always organize some sharing sessions with developers. I had one partner, one OEM, who was looking to implement HDRP into one of their products, and they didn't really know how to do that. They had been using us for years. We had done loads of stuff together on various products, and in fact we had implemented that. We'd helped them build that initial product the first time, but now they wanted to upgrade it to HDRP, and so we kind of continued that conversation and went deeper. So that's what I would say. You can always go deeper.
Yeah, I think it's a very true saying that there is so much to the engine that you can always learn more. And you did a great example, the universal render pipeline versus the high def render pipeline. Those are two very different ways of working that most people haven't taken the time to learn both of. And your team can help connect people to the features and tools that they might not know they were missing. So that sounds incredibly useful. Danny, I'd love to ask you a question on that specialization. Obviously, you've got, you mentioned that there are teams that kind of subdivide into these different areas. What does it look like when you get like a very niche question? How equipped are you to handle even the weirdest, nichest possible concerns? And can you share any examples of times that you had a really weird question, had to work between a few different teams to get the right answer on time?
Yeah, well, we hope that we had it already, so we had exposure to tons of questions. It's to be fair, we have this huge library of questions that we keep saving, and we train on. So sometimes, yeah, you still get the very unexpected unknown, but I think mostly it's about creating UIs. Maybe because UI is across probably all of the projects, all of the customers, gaming, non-gaming. It's something that is very, very crucial. And in fact, this is one of the areas we all try to specialize in, even if we're not dedicated. And possibly about the new UI system. These are the areas where we get tons of questions. I hope I answer your question.
No, that's super valid. Thank you. And UI is one of the continuous challenges for everyone trying to build a useful experience. So I am not surprised. And I think the thing that I'd like to capture there as well is you guys build up your pool of questions. So every new interesting niche question that comes up, you have a way to share that knowledge with the rest of your support teams and the rest of the world to make sure that you're able to handle that question in the future. And I think that's a really great way to build your knowledge base and share that out. So your niche question of yesterday is common knowledge by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we aim to. Yeah.
Amazing. Great. So I know we're running low on time here. I'm going to ask one last question to the three of you, and I'll ask for some kind of rapid fire answers here. So team by team, starting with partner advisors, then PRMs, then technical supports. What's the best way for customers to engage with you? What's the most productive kind of way for them to reach out? How should they work with you, and what leads to the best results?
So with the partner advisor team, we like I said before, we outreach first. So we kind of try and beat you to the punch. And then you will then have us on email right from the jump. So you can drop through any kind of inquiries or questions that you might have right at the start of your product license starting. And then from there, we kind of help you to do what you need to do. But we're always encouraging open conversations. Like, yeah, again, I think Danny mentioned it before, like, we understand that with industry customers, you can't share too much. So we understand that, but we just want to know how we can best help you. So if you can share it via email, or if you want to have a Zoom call and just have a chat, we're open to both, and we can schedule that in and yeah, see how we can best help you moving forward.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Rebecca, there, because it's like the struggle is often more about how do we make sure that you as a user feel comfortable sharing that information, right? That is the biggest challenge. Yeah. It's I want more, give me more information about what you need, where your struggles are, what it is that you're dealing with, what it is that you're hoping to achieve. And, you know, the more, drown me in emails, you know, drown me in calls, drown me in complaints. That's what we're really hoping for. And the best you can do is more, really, that's it. You know, the best way to communicate with us is to give us more. Just to give us more of yourselves, more of your time, more of your engagement, because then we can really dive in and provide you with the experts that you know you need. Because if you just say, well, I'm looking to implement this project, this feature on this project, it's like, well, great, I can maybe give you some how-tos, but then you'll come back to me and say, well, we already know that. It's like, it's just the more we communicate, the better we can tailor that experience. So more is always better.
Yeah, and I think just to like dive in as well, doesn't always have to be bad. Like if you've got feedback, if there's stuff that you like, we'd love to hear that too. If there's stuff that's working for you, if there's stuff that you've even discovered, like there's been times where I've spoken to a developer team and they've been like, we've been coding this thing for like 10 years and we're now finally here and we want to sing about it. Tell us, like, yeah, we were happy to sing your praises as well. We have an amazing industry marketing team who are happy to do whatever to help you kind of get as much light shine on you as well. We just want to, yeah, I think we're very keen to just sing about our industry customers. I know we've got games as a kind of like big brother, but we want to kind of be very much advocating for our industry customers and yeah, taking up as much space as possible.
That's awesome.
Danny,
I'll let you go ahead.
If I can add, you know, something on top of, you know, the context we want to have, but also what is key for us is don't be afraid to go to basics, right? Don't give anything for granted. Let's go to basics. When we talk about tech support, let's just check everything, right? So give us context, but also go back to basics. Basically, that's what I would add. Please give us the basic of everything.
Yeah, I think I've got like an anecdote that I can share. Was literally, we had like this week, we had a customer who was really struggling with a license activation. They were just like, what do I do? We were bouncing between teams with engine support. Everybody was trying to chime in and be like, how are we solving this? And then we got an email back from the customer in the afternoon saying, oh, I just unloaded everything and then I just reinstalled it and it worked perfectly fine. So thanks. So yeah, back to basics is definitely wins every time.
The classic cure-all for
yeah,
software.
Turn it off and on again, you'll be fine.
Well, team, thank you so much. I want to thank all of our speakers here today. Axel for covering Pixyz, our brilliant customer success team here. And really the next step is, you know, come talk to us. You, the viewer, talk to your sales representative. There should be a contact us link if you want to discuss anything more about what you saw here today. We are really excited about this new program. We think that Unity Industry is going to help drive a lot of your business forward. So come chat with us about it, you know, reach out to us, communicate with us. We want to help you. So thank you so much for your time. Please fill out the feedback form. We love the feedback. It's always helpful to learn what we can do better. And if you have any ideas for what the next webinar should cover, then hey, treat it as a suggestion box as well. Fine by us. Thank you all so much and have a great rest of your days, weeks, months, and years.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Okay.